Welcome to RNFC, the official Rebellious Noise Football Channel, where you'll find content such as goal hanging, live match reactions, as well as news and opinions on all aspects of the beautiful game. We will also cover some of the more cultural side of the sport, such as kit reviews, football nostalgia, and in-depth historical pieces on those who built the game that we love today. So win, lose or draw, make sure you subscribe before the full-time whistle blows.
Hey, what's up everyone? This is Dan from the Rebellious Noise Football Channel, and yeah, I'm pretty much going it solo today with the review of the England versus Czech Republic game. So yeah, another disappointing game really. I mean, I know that we are what's it called? I know that we won the game, but it's not too bad. We're through, but it wasn't convincing at all. So yeah. So to be fair, it wasn't a very convincing win, shall we say? I think like if we look at the England starting lineup right now, I think Maguire coming in, getting minutes behind him was good. Saka obviously getting a start was good. Grealish, everyone's been crying out for Jack Grealish to start. Grealish did start. He set up the only goal of the game for Raheem Sterling. Yeah, I think we got the job done. What more really can you ask for? It's obviously 1-0. And what is it with England and that bloody post? We have hit the exact same post on 3 occasions now. Every single game, we have hit the exact same post within the first 10 minutes. Ridiculous. Scott, great start, but dead after 10 minutes. But yeah, it's just mate, I honestly don't know what on earth is going on here. But yeah, we obviously go through to the next round. We've got the winners of the runners-up of the group featuring France, Portugal, Germany, and Hungary. So I don't really hold out much hope for us, but it's I guess one of those tricky situations, really, isn't it? But yeah, England obviously managed to come away with the 1-0 win. Unfortunately, though, Scotland didn't. I feel I'm not one of those Englishmen that hate Scotland. For me, I wanted Scotland to go through as well. I was secretly hoping Scotland were going to beat the Czech Republic, but didn't manage to get the job done, unfortunately, over in Glasgow tonight. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting, I guess, to see where we go from here. So obviously we know that we are going to be playing at Wembley in the next round. We now know our route to the final, and that is going to be Wembley on Tuesday night, followed by, if we get through, then it will be a trip to Rome for our only game that will be away from Wembley Stadium. So we have the game in Rome would be the quarter-final, if we get through, and then the semis and final obviously at Wembley. So there's a history there. Obviously, the World Cup in 1966, we played every game at Wembley. In Euro 96, we played every game at Wembley. This time, if we are going to win, we have to get through the round of 16 game, then go to Rome and then pull out a performance in Rome. Got to remember as well, when we played in Rome before, there was the build-up to obviously France 98. We managed to get everything done there. We got the job done in Rome that night, but we would need to do that again. Let's, just as I say, it was a really a tough watch tonight. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping looks like I'm being joined by a guest now. Lucas, hey, there we go. There he is.
Yeah. So yeah, look, sorry, I've been listening a little bit what you said so far. I think obviously Gareth Southgate's kind of mission in this was just to get us through, and he's done that. The thing is, obviously, what people are getting scared about, including myself, is that we're not really doing more than this one goal thing. Today was a bit better, I felt, some of the attacking play, but it is just that thing of like we're looking shaky when there are those breaks. And the Czechs, they gave quite a lot of those kind of breaks. There were some scary moments obviously in there. Pickford's looking strong though as a goalkeeper. He's the right choice for certain. He's very confident. He's making decisions, that are benefiting the team, giving them the chances. Some nice balls into him, actually, to be fair. Definitely in that first half, but it's just that middle part really, where if we're exposed, I think, like to a team such as France or Portugal, like we could be next Tuesday, if we were to behave like that, we could obviously quite easily be on the receiving end of a goal. It's just the fact that obviously Czech Republic, it wasn't their night tonight, was it?
No, I mean, it's they did okay. They stifled us a little bit at times, but then, I just feel as though we went far too defensive. Like, obviously you're not what I think we went into this not wanting to lose the game, but like we knew we were through regardless. It's like, I mean, I'll put the starting lineup thing up again now. I just feel as though we could have taken a few more like risks here. Like, Maguire came in. That's good for his fitness. Jordan Henderson came on. That's good for his fitness. Jadon Sancho got his first minutes. But, looking through this team, obviously Pickford has not conceded a goal yet, so he's doing superbly well. Kyle Walker playing at right back. Yeah, makes sense. Like, you could have either had Walker, James, Trippier.
I would have a Trippier personally.
I mean, and also like even centre half, you got John Stones there. You could have put in maybe Connor Cody. You could have put in Ben White even. Left back obviously Luke Shaw, because obviously Ben Chilwell, as we know, is self-isolating.
Sadly, but I mean, Shaw did a good job today, though.
Yeah, Luke Shaw played quite well, and I really did like when he got that kick at. I think he got a kick in the head or something. It's what you want to see. Your defenders just throwing their head on anything, whether it's a boot, whether it's a football or whatever, you just...
Yeah, he needed to. It was a volley, wasn't it? It was a volley. Obviously they did call that it might have been. But again, the referees in this tournament, man, like they're really, really good.
The standard of officiating has been incredible. And I mean, it does show as well, like even a few times when like some of the players were like answering back to the referee, you see the referee just literally go like, no, enough, like stop this now. And the players seem to respect that authority a little bit more. I think that's one of the things in the England game sometimes, in the English game, like when the players will constantly surround the referees. And I just hate seeing it because, I always thought it's one of these where if a player is arguing back with a referee, that's dissent. The way they've got to look at it, if a player's on a yellow card, book him, or you book someone, that will shut them up straight away. They come up to you once, you tell them, go away. If they carry on after you've told them to go away once, straight yellow card out, bang. It's like, do it again, mate. You're off the pitch, so shut up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I feel like over the last few years, I think the refereeing job has become a bit of a pantomime, isn't it? At times, like with obviously the referee, they've got a very, very hard decision to make. Every decision obviously counts and it matters to someone, whether it be the player or the team. And obviously, in this case, it is a nation, isn't it? We're all watching, and we were obviously, we're thinking, obviously, like I said, with these games, it was a case of will we play on Monday over in Copenhagen? Where we'd have a major disadvantage, you have to believe anyway at least, and obviously a day less of rest, or will we be playing back home at Wembley in front? I think it's next week. It's 40,000. I think it's 40,000.
Yeah, I think so. 40,000, and then for the semis and the final, I think they're looking at 70.
Yeah, which obviously is almost capacity. So that's the way. Look, yeah, Scott. Way better officiating than the Premier League, even if you disagree with some of it. Yeah, I think like it's just that case of the referees are happy to stand their ground, and they are allowing a lot of play to happen, which is good, I think, for England to an extent, because we do need to kind of, be forced onto the attacking path a bit more. Whereas, like you said, we are very defensive.
Yeah, and I think as well, like going back to like the whole refereeing thing as well, I think the use of VAR in this tournament's been like, it's been not necessarily non-existent, but it's kind of going on behind the scenes, so it doesn't interrupt the game, doesn't interfere with it. It's like, okay, if it's a goal, we know every goal's going to get checked. You don't constantly need that reassurance. And like when players are arguing, like, is it a penalty? Is it not a penalty? It's going to get checked. You don't need to constantly harass the referee. You know, as soon as you go down in that box, it's getting checked. If the referee's made an error, it will be flagged up. Yeah. Like with the offsides, it's like it's on or it's off. It's
I think obviously that it's still quite a new thing though, isn't it? In terms of obviously this, so I think some players are still thinking to try it the other way. It's not always working. I mean, obviously Sterling got a little bit of kind of a negative reception. Obviously, when he knew he was offside. Versus very on. I think it was the second half, wasn't it? When he knew he was offside, and he turned his back away because he knew he was offside, so he knew there's no point taking the chance. But there is also that thing where
was that the one where I think it was Kane had the shot or someone had the shot, and then the keeper spilled it and he had his back to it.
Yeah. But I mean, the people obviously they booed that a little bit, thinking that he should have obviously attempted, but he knew he was offside. And in fact, like you say, now you're offside. A, they've got the linesman, and B, you got the fact you got VAR, which is going to tell you you're offside. So and for someone like Sterling, you're thinking, okay, let me not attempt that at least at this moment, because again, like at that point, it's the thing with England, the only team in the world, I think, where we can be 1-0 up, but we still feel that we could at any point in that match become 2-1 down. With the only team in the world that plays like this, it feels like sometimes.
For me, the weirdest thing is with this England team, it's as you say, we go 1-0 up, and it's either that we're gonna see. I just feel as though I just worry because it's either that we're gonna go on and win the game 3 or 4-0, or we could quite easily go and lose it like 3-4-1.
3-1.
Yeah, and it's like I now know, like, because obviously, as people on this channel will know, I'm a Man United supporter, so I've been used to like watching my team like winning for years. And to be fair, mate, that Harry Maguire
not for a few years now, though.
No, not for a few years now. But I mean, to be fair, that one when the penalty decision when Harry Maguire went down in the box, I mean, you could even probably see Bruno Fernandes rubbing his hands together, thinking, "Oh, I'm going to get to take a penalty here," and he's not even English, and even Bruno could see that one. But I mean. Flicking back, like just going back to like the team a minute. I mean, like you look at the subs as well that he brought on. So Henderson came on, obviously getting a few minutes in there. Bellingham for Grealish. I think a lot of people were saying, why did Grealish go off? Probably because they want to keep him fit for the bigger game, which is coming up next. Obviously, Rashford got a few more minutes. Tyrone Mings. See, that was surprising for me, the Mings one. I'd have thought maybe give Connor Cody a chance.
Yeah, he seems very high on Mings, I think obviously Stones was kind of like just, he was the one who's making it, I feel anyway, he was making it a little bit shaky there. There was a couple of times where I thought, okay, he's kind of, he's kind of not all there. Let's get someone else on new. In terms of the actual lineup, though, I think, starting Grealish was good. Obviously, it was something which was being said from match day 1, and then obviously on to match day 2. And then especially coming off of match day 2, obviously with the draw, where we didn't obviously want that draw. Coming to match day 3, you had to kind of start him, but I think it is a case of keeping these boys fit. It's still in a weird way like we've got the harder stuff to come now. Well, the thing I'm not saying we're not in a weird way, but in a good way. Like this is how the tournament should be. We should be playing progressively better teams as we're going forward. But we are playing former champions. Essentially, no matter which way you look at it, for either World Cup or European champions. I don't know. I think I can kind of see what he was doing with this though. I do think though, like Kane's at the point now where like how many times can we defend him really? Like when it's not happening for him this tournament. It's not happening for him.
He just seems so like off the pace. Like it's either that he's not fit, that he's got other stuff on his mind, or it's just, I mean, because the thing is, I know I was messaging with you, and I've got a few like different WhatsApp groups going on at the moment, and it's like, for me, it was like we've got all this attacking pace. Why are we constantly passing the ball backwards and sideways? It's like you want to just be playing balls over the top of defenders, because Harry Kane, to me, is better when he's going towards the opposition goal.
Yeah.
If you've got Sterling and Saka running down the wings, all you need is just put a ball down the wing, get one of them to put a ball in the box. Let Kane try and get his head on something. Let him try and get on. Yeah. I mean, you look at the goal came from across. Jack Grealish obviously crossing in. And I think tonight was actually quite an important game for Grealish, because I feel as though if he didn't do something, then basically Southgate saying, well, okay, you've all asked for Grealish, I'll put Grealish in. But then if he didn't do well, people would have been like, oh, actually, well, it's ridiculous. Like, why is he not doing anything? And I mean, just quickly going back on what we were saying. So Scott said he agrees with us. First half, he was convinced we'd win 3-0. By half time, it was the same old. But to be fair, was happy with the subs. It's more about minutes for who he might need in the round of 16. And then Kane not getting a goal was shocking. Isn't fully his fault, but still should have at least one by now after 3 games. I mean, to be fair, I was honestly surprised that Calvert-Lewin didn't start this game. Like, obviously, Southgate had announced previously, but what harm would it have done to start Dominic Calvert-Lewin tonight? We're already through. Bear in mind, we've scored 2 goals. 3 games, we've scored twice. Raheem Sterling's got both of them. It seems like, I mean, you look at the Denmark game last night, and that was 2 fantastic goals from outside the box. I don't think I've seen an England player have a decent attempt from outside the box.
Was that I mean, Walker, there's a couple of moments where he kind of hesitated crossing the ball in. You're like, get the ball in there. We're talking about people like, you're talking about Kane. Like, if he can get his head on something, he will get his head on something. And, there's a chance it's going to go in. So it's a bit like, you have people like Walker and even like Henderson when he finally came on as well. Like, it's like, well, get the ball in there. But they were playing the kind of play of, like, again, passing it around the box. And then, there was some scary moments where we're losing the ball kind of in that middle part of the pitch. And, luckily was able to kind of salvage, some of those, we did salvage all those attempts really, but some of it was very shaky. In terms of Grealish, I think obviously, it was important that he played from the get-go. I think obviously what he's doing now is he's testing out all these different combinations that we've got at the front, around the front really, and obviously having Sterling in there, and obviously switching that. See how he always switches Sterling for Rashford. I think that is like the best way to do it. And we've got people like Saka, and Sterling himself, who they got pace and they got those legs that some really good runs, especially in the first half. From Sterling, though obviously it did get the second half. He wasn't as on it. It felt, and so he was sub for me at the right time. I'd say getting Bellingham in there made sense. I think it's just getting Milan's minutes to play. To be fair, and I guess because having the extra subs they've got, it's just using that time wisely, and then obviously also just as we look to the bigger games. Hopefully games, not just one game, not just singular. I can look to these bigger games coming up. It's about the opposition not knowing exactly what we're going to do. But the problem we have is we are up against teams that will score goals. So it is a case of now we've had our clean sheet and that's good. We've had 1 goal here, one goal in the other game. But I do think we need to show that we can get that second or third goal. That's the confidence that I think we need in order for us to look like the European champions. I mean, look, we're looking at Italy, a team who, they've scored 3 goals in 2 of their games.
Yeah, I think 3-3. I think 3-3 and 2 they've scored. But again, they've not conceded a goal as well. And
exactly.
But the thing is, the way that you could look at it is, if you don't concede a goal, you can't lose a game.
Yeah, but then it comes to a point where obviously if the final ends up being, let's say it ends up being us versus Italy, we've got a team who we know can score more than 1 goal.
It's going to be a 0-0 draw, isn't it? go to penalties and no one's going to want to score. It'll just be like save after save after save, and then you just get like one that will just randomly like someone will just do like a Panenka in like be like Pickford or something, do a Panenka against Donnarumma. But
it'll slip through the goalkeeper's fingers and it'll just have to go in maybe. But I mean
just going back to the strikers thing, we've got Scott here, Dominic Calvert-Lewin possibly getting the second. Wouldn't be so bad, would it? If Kane wasn't getting one, then someone else should be getting it. It's just as and the thing is, I mean, if I'm totally honest, I don't think Gareth Southgate knows his best team.
No.
And that's what the warm-up games are meant for. I can see, he didn't want to play the City players, he didn't want to play the Chelsea players, but then if they're an integral part of your World Cup team, you need to play them. Like tonight, we've spoken about it on this channel. Me and Scott have spoken about it numerous times. James Ward-Prowse would have had a field day out there tonight. Like, he would have been pinging balls left, right, and centre. Bukayo Saka, for me, best player on the park tonight. He was immense.
He was everywhere.
He was incredible. You think someone like Ward-Prowse pinging balls into him, pinging balls the other side, it just seems as though, Rice and Phillips, while they're working well, they're doing the job there. It is so sideways and backwards. It's like neither of them seem like they want to go forward. I mean, I'll be honest, I forgot Declan Rice has played in every single one of these games. I just feel as though he's been so anonymous, and that's nothing. That's nothing against Declan Rice. He played
better in the Scotland game. He played better in the Scotland game, but then obviously the Scotland game was our worst game. So it's like, of the three we've done so far, anyway.
And I feel Phillips is going to be a really good, he's going to be a good player for England, in years to come as well. And I feel as though he plays that role in front of the back four really well. If the fullbacks are coming on,
I think he needs that confidence to obviously be able to cross the ball in. I think a bit more. I think I don't know what tactics. I think obviously the tactic that is happening is a defensive one, and I don't know whether that's coming into some of the attacking play too, where they're like, well, I guess it's that worry of if they do cross it in and it fails, that obviously the other team will get on the break and then they'll score. But it's a case of if you've got that strongness at the front, you should be able to be scoring 2 or 3 goals. This is the thing with that combination we've got. Do you know what I mean? Kane should be on the score sheet by now. We're out of the group stage. He should be on the score sheet, and I think really all eyes on Kane to be the scorer. For us in this next game. Win, lose, or sadly, or win, lose, or draw. At the net. Well, we can't draw, yes, but at the next game. I think obviously Kane is one where if he's not scoring still, that's where we got to ask questions, and that's for me where I'm maybe Southgate doesn't make his best team, because how is Harry Kane not scoring?
The thing is as well, it's people could say, oh, it's the service, but then I've seen him probably with his back to goal more than I've seen him facing goal. It's for me, why is my centre forward going back and doing all the donkey work essentially? It's for me, my centre forward needs to be playing within the width of the 18-yard box, literally on the shoulder of that last defender. As soon as anything's going through into that 18-yard box, you make sure that your centre forward is the man that's literally on the end of it. And we knew that we were
not getting the play there, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's
play there because Phillips, Rice, to an extent Henderson, even though he's on briefly, they were playing that kind of pass it around the box kind of game, which we don't need, and that's where it's risky, because like I said, if you do get your centre forwards and your forwards, playing kind of backwards football, you get a team up, you get us against a team like a France or a Portugal, even a Germany, to be fair, then they're not quite out of the kind of contention yet. You can never count out the German team, to do well in tournaments, and if they catch us on the back foot and they break, it could be a goal down the other end. We've seen it happen so many times. I think obviously, but in terms of where we are at, and that's where we've got to remember where we're at, and it's a very strong position we are in, but only really in the nicest possible way, because everyone else in this group hasn't really done that well. Not as possible way. Obviously, Scotland, they brought us to a draw. Good on them. Fair enough to that. But they got their arse handed to them tonight by Croatia. Croatia as well, drawing with Czech Republic, has helped us on this. And then we was able to get away with a 1-0 win over Croatia, which basically guaranteed that we couldn't finish even with a loss. I don't know, you're the stat man here with this stuff.
Yeah, so
if we lost tonight, I don't think we still.
No, so basically, we were through regardless. So at the start of the night, England and Czech Republic were both on 4 points. So I think because Switzerland and Ukraine, I want to say, were both on 3 points. So that the teams that finished third in groups A and B, it basically meant that regardless of the result, England were through, Czech Republic were through. I think the only way we could have finished third would have been for, obviously, Czech Republic would have needed to beat us, and then Croatia or Scotland, whoever, would have needed to win the game and have a better goal difference than we would, essentially.
Yeah, which would have been too hard. At that point, we only scored one goal.
Yeah. We've got another one here. For me tonight was one of the worst possible positive results. We even needed to batter and be confident against Group B winners or draw for a better draw, but we awkwardly won. Yay, France. So, yeah, I mean, if we'd have finished second in the group, which Czech Republic have, so Czech Republic will now go into the next game in Copenhagen on Monday, and they will be facing the team that are second in the group, featuring Spain, Spain, Poland, Slovakia, and Sweden.
Okay.
So that would have been the route we would have gone, but the route we are taking is that we face the team that are runners-up of, obviously, Scotland, France, Portugal, Germany, or Hungary. I mean, Hungary are the outsiders in that group, but we still have to, obviously, mathematically, they're still in it. But then the thing is, we get through that. If we were to get through that, then there's a possibility we could face Wales or Denmark, possibly. So
I knew that route.
And the good thing is, I mean, you could say, yeah, we've got home advantage at Wembley, but I think it's going to be tough because people are going to look at this England team and think they're there for the taking. But then it seems like it does seem like Southgate's just setting up. So the way I described Southgate, like at the moment, he's basically like he's trying to adopt Jose Mourinho tactics, but without the trophies.
I can kind of.
It's either that, or he's just been reading the George Graham book of 1-0 to the Arsenal, but it's 1-0 to the England. But do you know what? If we went through this entire tournament and won every game 1-0, would I be happy? Of course I would.
Yeah,
would I have been like, oh yeah, I've been excited in every game? Hell no. But the way I'm looking at it, as long as we're winning the games, that's good. But please, guys, make it a little bit more comfortable so that we've not got a bloody heart in our mouths every time a shot comes in.
I know, it's so painful watching England. I mean, there's obviously, sadly, some weirdos out there who don't like football, don't watch it, and obviously around this kind of time, they don't get it. But there's nothing more tense to make you more anxious than watching England play football at international level. It's so tense, But yeah, look, I think that. They obviously they were mentioning that obviously a lot of the teams that have won these tournaments in the past, particularly in the past kind of like 20 years or so, they are the boring teams. They are the boring teams. Probably get some hate for this, but I'm not a fan, of the Spanish game where they play football as a national team. But their passing game, that got them obviously to a major status, obviously over the past decade. And when you look at teams like France and Portugal who have done this before, like it is a lot of these kind of like 1-0 draw here, kind of performances. It's when you're taking these risks that you mess up. But it'd be interesting, really, because obviously, England, we're known for our, bad penalty taking, and for just going out by really, really silly decisions that kind of work against us sometimes, or just really poor play. Like against Iceland, a few years ago. But
yeah, don't get me started on that. Bloody hell. That's something for a totally different.
Yeah. I mean, but it'd be interesting in this tournament though, when with the referees, we said before, they're making really good decisions overall. Like we probably couldn't use that again. It will be a case of, I think, really like, us basically losing because we lost to a better team, on the day, or us obviously just not giving our heart. But I think, yeah, like it depends where we're at. Like I think at the moment we're strong, but we are still, like I said, we won a group which didn't really have much going in with it, and I think these tactics, obviously with the third place teams coming through, like we spoke earlier, Dan, like about it. Like I think that's just made for a lot of this kind of boring play that we've seen so far, because teams have known that they can go through with 3 points. So you could win one and draw, not even draw. You could win one and lose two, essentially, and you could go through. Which out of 3 games, like it's just a really backwards way of playing things. Like, some manager will take that risk of saying, look, let's just win 1, 2-0, 3-0, and that should be enough. And in the other 2 games, we lose, but we're probably going to go through still as a 3rd place team, potentially.
Yeah, because I mean, if we have a look like for definite now, so we know that regardless of what now happens, Switzerland are through. So Switzerland are one of the best 3rd place teams in it.
Yeah.
So then you've got obviously Czech Republic are through as well. So then, as it stands, Sweden are through from Group E.
Yeah.
And then you've got Slovakia, Spain, and Poland, who are all. So the games left there. So you've got Spain and Slovakia. So Spain and Slovakia draw, then Slovakia go through, and then I think it comes down to either goal difference or something with Spain. But there is a possibility where if Slovakia and Spain draw, and Poland beats Sweden, Spain could go out bottom of the group.
Wow, which would be a real kind of thing.
And it's like in the group between like Germany, France, Portugal, and Hungary. So you've got Hungary versus Germany. So if Hungary beat Germany, then Hungary would go into 2nd place. And then if France beat Portugal, it means that Hungary and France would go through. Germany and Portugal, one of them would finish bottom, and one of them would go out. So, I mean, Portugal-France is going to be a very, very tasty match.
Yeah, very. I mean, that's basically a final right there, I'd say, for many people. That's worthy of a final. But obviously, at this stage, it's looking like, for me anyway, only one of those teams can really truly be in contention. That is France, in my opinion. For that kind of final spot. But yeah, look, I think this is the thing. I think if it'd be interesting to see, like, if it wasn't like this, if the play would be any different, and I think it would be. I think obviously with these teams knowing that essentially it's coming down to these final games, and something like we're saying, down to just 1 goal here, 1 goal there, and it shouldn't be like that. I just think that in some ways, a lot of these teams are kind of waiting for the round of 16, for the real tournament to begin, so to speak, because that's when it's the knockout phases and when, essentially you will go home. Whereas at this phase here, like you said, it's a case of like, there's so much that can happen, and it's just a bit, it doesn't always make for the best football to watch, sadly.
Yeah, it's just, I guess, we're going to obviously find out our best team, hopefully, and who knows, the players may actually step up on a bigger stage and, against a better opposition. So,
cross fingers.
To be fair, we'll probably go with like a 6-4-0 formation so we don't concede. I was honestly surprised he didn't just bring on, because I think we ended up with so obviously 4 at the back and then 3 defensive midfielders essentially. Yeah. But anyway, I mean, we could sit here probably all night and go on about, ifs, buts and maybes, but all we can do is focus on what's in front of us, and that is a quarter-final tie. England obviously are through, top of the group. We are unbeaten at this Euros. We have not conceded a goal. So, I mean, everyone's talking about Italy. Oh, they've not conceded a goal. Neither have England.
No way.
There we go.
No way. It's coming home.
Well, it's probably not now. But anyway, I think if we get through the next game, whether it is Portugal, France, Germany, or indeed Hungary, then I feel as though we've got as good a chance as any. So
it's boarded the bus. It's boarded the bus. Come on, let's get on it. It's boarded the bus so far. The bus has left this bus station. It's on its way. It is coming home. Come on, Dave. It
is on its way to be parked in front of that England goal.
The post.
And that bloody post. I mean, if we hit that, can you imagine what the betting odds would have been if you said in every single game so far, England are going to hit the exact same post
within the first 10 minutes as well, every single time, isn't
it? Every single one. Yeah, every single game. Like literally, if that doesn't, I'm going to put a £5 on that for the quarterfinals, for the round of 16. Sorry, that exact same post. So at least we know it won't happen if we get to the quarters because that's in Rome. So there we go.
Yeah, true.
But yeah,
true.
Anyway, I guess that's everything. But yeah, don't forget like, share, and subscribe, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. There's plenty more football content to come. Thank you, Lucas, for joining us.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's it, guys. Yeah, is it coming home? Let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below.
It is.
But for now, that's everything. Take care. See you soon, guys. Bye.
Bye for now.
Welcome to RNFC, the official Rebellious Noise Football Channel, where you'll find content such as goal hanging, live match reactions, as well as news and opinions on all aspects of the beautiful game. We will also cover some of the more cultural side of the sport, such as kit reviews, football nostalgia, and in-depth historical pieces on those who built the game that we love today. So win, lose or draw, make sure you subscribe before the full-time whistle blows.